Deshaun Watson settles 20 of the 24 civil cases that were being filed against him. What do you guys think of it? What do you think it means for a suspension? I know we got a voicemail coming up. I don't know if we want to talk about it first or if you want to play the voicemail first.
Why don't we talk about it a little bit and we can play the voicemail?
Sounds good.
Yeah.
So what are your guys' thoughts? First of all, were you surprised he settled?
Yes. Yeah, I am surprised that he settled. So I don't even know where to start with this. I'm trying to get my best views on everything, but to me, for weeks and months and years, he's been saying, I'm innocent. I'm going to clear my name. I'm not going to settle. I'm going to fight to clear my name. I'm being wrongfully accused. And I'm saying when I read all these the cases and stuff, to me it's a little fictionalized. It feels a little bit. I don't think that I need to know that he has a Rolls Royce that he pulled up in, things like that. But to me, and I told these guys earlier, I think the national perception and then, even some Browns fans are going to feel well, why are you settling? And then why are you settling? And it's got to be, what do they call it where you can't talk about it?
Confidential.
Confidentiality or whatever. So for me, I don't know if there's something else going on where maybe, I don't think the NFL is saying, hey, if you settle, we're going to help you out here. Because I think after you guys read that article, the NFL isn't trying to do any favors for Deshaun Watson. It sounds like they're coming fire and brimstone at him.
So at first I was surprised that he settled and I was a little bummed too because I was looking forward to him taking it to him in court.
Yeah.
But then I started thinking about it a little bit more, and I thought everybody who thinks he's guilty, no matter what he did, if he would have won all 24 cases, they still just would have thought he was guilty.
That's fair.
It would have done nothing. So just get it over with.
Just get rid of it.
Smooth forward.
Because doing the settling does not mean guilty or liable. It does not. No. People settle all the time because they don't want to deal with it. And again, it would not do anything. Even if he beat them all, people would still say he was guilty. Literally 2 grand juries didn't press criminal charges, and you still say he's guilty. So nothing he would have done would have changed the perception of that.
Remember what we learned about civil cases too. Even if somebody's found liable, it's only a little over, 51%.
Yeah.
It's not what was it? The
burden of proof is beyond a reasonable doubt in criminal cases. So there's that side of it too. I think the NFL said, hey man, you can't play this year with this going on. Settle these cases and we'll work on a suspension. I think that because of settling, I'm thinking 4-8 games max.
That's exactly where I landed on this too. As soon as I saw this, I thought, okay, this definitely had to do with possible suspension. I'm sure there was pressure from probably the team too, saying, you know what? Because even Angelina Adams, when we had her on a month ago or whatever, said the same thing, that the team might even get in there and say, hey, we kind of need this to go away.
Yeah,
this
is a dark cloud.
We don't want the announcer talking about this every time you throw a touchdown.
Correct.
So, I think the league was listen, if you don't settle, okay, good for you, but you're not playing while this is going on. And on the flip side, if you settle, they might be saying they're pushing for a year, but it's all for optics. They want to look like they're trying to be hard, and then the NFLPA is going to push for 0, and they're going to meet somewhere in the middle. There was talks, there's wording in the bylaws of the league and I'm sure a lot of people have seen this, that owners are to be held to a higher standard than the players.
Yes.
So it's been reported that the NFLPA is ready. If the league tries to throw the hammer on them, they're going to fight it tooth and nail. Listen, Bob Kraft, literal video evidence, this dude getting tugged, for lack of a better term.
Way to clean her up.
Way to do that PG version of it.
Legit video evidence. It's on camera. Nothing happened to him.
No.
He didn't even get a fine, I don't think. I'd have to look it up. I don't want to speak out of turn. If he did get fined, let me know.
But either way, it was slap on the wrist,
minuscule,
nothing.
Nothing.
The most, yeah.
What about Daniel Snyder for Washington?
Yeah, John Gruden got fired from a job that had nothing to do with it.
Yeah.
Right.
And he's scot-free, nothing. And then Jerry Jones is also under the gun for this. And it's just the NFLPA is going to say, listen, you got 3 owners here who've honestly, there's way more evidence of wrongdoing on their end, and you let them off with nothing. How are you going to punish this guy for a whole year when there was no criminal cases, no nothing, no evidence?
No evidence, yeah.
So I look for them to fight that hard, and I look for them to settle somewhere in like the 6 to 8, and then to get appealed down and be like 4 to 6.
Yeah, I think that sounds pretty reasonable.
I think some people immediately, once they heard this news, thought, "Oh God, he's going to be gone for the year." Complete opposite, in my opinion.
Yeah, me too.
Complete opposite. I thought, okay, this just means we're going to have him this year.
Yeah, and I was having a little bit of an argument earlier with somebody about whether or not he's guilty of all the things and this and that, and I said, well, at this point there is still, like you said, no evidence.
Zero.
There's zero evidence that anything that's been alleged actually happened. Now, whether you think that, okay, it probably did happen or it didn't, whatever, that's your personal opinion on the matter, but it doesn't prove anything as far as legal goes.
No, I had somebody on, I forget, it was either YouTube or Twitter or something, trying to compare. They said, well, there was no evidence against OJ, and we all know he did it. Guys,
this is different.
There was lots of evidence against OJ. It went to trial.
Exactly.
It's also well known. It's one of the most botched trials in criminal law history, in the history of the country. So it's nothing the same. There's zero evidence. They wouldn't even go to a trial in this case. OJ had a full trial on display for the whole country. It's not even comparable.
And the thing that I keep arguing too is I know what the allegations are against Deshaun, and I know what his response about them are, is that to try to keep it PG, things were consensual in these situations. And the things that happened in those situations, if they were consensual, they're not illegal.
Correct.
They're not illegal. You can do those things. It's totally cool.
And to the people saying, well, it's at least worse soliciting prostitution, not if he still got a massage. Yeah. If that's your goal, but you still received the massage, you paid for the massage, you got the rest after. That's not illegal. Now, if you showed up and you just gave her money and did the deed, that's prostitution. That's not what anybody's accusing him of.
Right. Yeah. Yeah.
So it's not illegal. So, I mean, I'm not going to say just because some people are doing it, it means it's okay for him to do it. But again, Bob Kraft's on video just...
Yeah, and I think that's important. Not to make light of the situation. We said that last week. Everything that's been accused is absolutely horrible if it's true. But again, we can't sit here and say it is. Or, you know what I mean? We've seen enough people get their reputation destroyed, their careers. People get canceled off of TV shows and movie sets and all these kinds of things over accusations.
Yeah, and like Mike Florio is trying to say he shouldn't be allowed to play until all this is done. And I'm like, well, what if so you're going to put his career on hold for 2, 3, 4 years? And what if he wins every case?
And he already put his career on hold for a whole year. I know,
If the NFL were to do that and then he won every case, he would sue the NFL so hard for damages.
Absolutely.
He would own the NFL.
So, I know a lot of people today were saying, well, he settled that, that it is like admission of guilt or whatever. So I just was looking up some stuff. Just why would people settle, rather than go to trial? And some of the reasons, in most cases, it's much, Angeline said this, it's less expensive to settle than to actually go through with the trial. Trials are stressful. Civil suits can sometimes or typically take up to 3 to 4 years to be resolved.
Yeah.
Because even if a defendant is found liable, they can appeal and go through the process again. So are we really going to string this out, like you said, for multiple years? Settling is often more appealing to the plaintiff. There's no guarantee that they're going to win in court. Judge can dismiss evidence. Witnesses can be deemed unreliable. And even if the defendant is found liable, no guarantee the money awarded will be more than what the settlement would have been. And settling, it actually said on this law site I was reading, it removes the question of liability. It doesn't determine it. If the parties settle, no one is found liable or not liable.
And let's be honest, the lawyer, the attorney, Busby, he did not want this to go to trial.
No.
He was most likely going to get obliterated.
And I think we kind of speculated that that's why it was such a large number.
Yes,
right?
Why he was piling it on. He was pushing for this settlement. Well, one, he just lined his pockets. All these people who's saying he's fighting for these women, he probably just made 10 times more money than any of them.
Yeah.
They're all getting peanuts compared to what this guy, I don't know if you guys have seen this guy's net worth and house. This dude's insanely rich.
The little bit of research I did on him when a few months ago, and I did the whole Deshaun legal situation back then. Yeah,
let's not pretend like this guy's some white knight trying to just rescue and save people. He's
a sleazy lawyer.
He's trying to line his pockets with millions of dollars. Do you want to play that voicemail?
Sure. If I can pull it up, here we go.
Hey, dog, this is your favorite man, the Brown Tiger. Let's just say Watson is suspended 8 games because of the allegations, regardless if he's found liable or not. Would the league think about the strength of schedule and say, yes, we're going to suspend you 8 games, but Watson will get to play the first 8 games, and we're going to suspend you for the last 8 games because the last 8 games of the season is one of our hardest parts of the season. Do you think they would do that?
Can the NFL do that?
Well, one short answer, whether they can or they can't, the answer is no.
Right. That's where I'm at.
The
Yeah.
answer is no. They would not do that. First of all, I don't even know if they can do it. And second of all, don't let the NFL fool you. They don't care. They just have to look like they care.
Yeah.
It's a bit. They want to make their billions of dollars, and you know what's good for TV money? Deshaun Watson making a playoff push and playing into the playoffs.
Absolutely.
Don't let the NFL fool you.
This is entertainment.
This is the same league that gave Ray Rice a 2-game suspension, even though they saw the video.
That's right. There was a little bit of evidence on that one.
Didn't do anything about it until the video became public and it made them look bad, and then it became a big deal. They saw the video and only gave him 2 games. Okay, so don't let the NFL fool you. They don't care. They let Randy Gregory play football.
That's true.
Or Ray Rice.
You know what I mean? So
Or not Ray Rice, Ray Lewis.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I mean, allegedly. Allegedly murdered somebody.
Yeah. So don't let they don't care about these women. They don't care about any of it. They just want to make it look like they care. So it's about the money.
To me, the only way I could see this going, like how he says it, if like week 8 they go, Deshaun Watson, you're suspended 8 games. That's the only way that plays out for me. Like they're like, we're holding on to this and we've decided that we are going to suspend you for 8 games. I think if they decide, hey, you're suspended for 8 games, it's right then and there, week 1 to week 8. That's it. Depending, what's our bye? I can't even remember off the top of my head.
It's somewhere like 7 or 8, isn't it?
Yeah,
Yeah, 7, 8, 9, something like that.
So I mean, I understand the question. I just like you said, I just don't think they care really about the strength of schedule. Like, to me, if they did that, the Players Association would be like, "Are you serious right now?" And if I was like the Haslams or even like Browns ownership, Browns anything, I'd be like, "Yeah, no."
Yeah, I don't think people understand like how big and strong of an organization the NFLPA is.
Yeah,
I mean it's like one of the biggest unions. Like they got good lawyers.
Yeah,
the best
and a lot of money.
Yes,
they're also tied into the NFL, which is bringing in lots of money.
So yeah, the NFL can't be, they can't just go and make it up as they go along. The NFLPA would never do that. And again, they want Deshaun playing at the end of the year.
Yeah. So really, with the news that came out today, plus everything you guys said about like the owner situation that have happened in the past, we're pretty much rolling out that year-long suspension, right? I mean,
go ahead.
You're not going to roll it out?
No,
I think it would be almost impossible for them to get the year.
I think if they're if they're saying, hey, we want to suspend him for the year, they will do everything they can to try to suspend him for the year. But my counter argument for that is the Players Association, I think, will appeal that. Deshaun's camp is going to appeal that. The Browns will appeal that. And then to me, if you're going to hit him for a whole season, which it doesn't even come down to the NFL anyway. No,
it's this third party.
Right.
Now, she can make the recommendation, and then
right.
as long as it's more than 0, then Roger Goodell can do whatever he wants.
Right. So I think that, honestly, to me, I think that if they do try to do a season, I think you meet somewhere in the middle, and it's going to be 8 to 10. I think 8 to 10, and to me, 8 to 10 would be super damaging to the Browns season. I mean, I think that would be enough to really. It would cripple the season for us.
I have people trying to tell me it's going to be 2 years. I'm like, guys, no, it's not.
Because of the Bauer? Because of the Bauer case?
It has nothing to do. And
it's completely different.
0 evidence.
That's the thing. And that's what I keep trying to tell people is if you're going to suspend Deshaun Watson for a year or 2 years on accusations, how are you going to handle the next case that has evidence?
Well,
you're going to suspend a guy for 5 years?
Yeah. And I keep
ending?
seeing
what are you
a reinstatement too, like, oh, he's going to have to reinstate into the NFL. And I'm like,
no.
And they're like, Myles Garrett had to. And I'm like, well, if Myles Garrett would have hit that dude with the other side of his helmet,
he'd be in prison.
He'd be dead. Yeah, we wouldn't be talking about, oh, man, that that's a crazy picture that you can put on your phone. You'd be like, holy crap, you remember that time that Browns player killed that
Murdered that quarterback?
The rivalry is back because they hate us because we killed their quarterback. Like
legit.
And like we joke about it and everything, but like that situation could have been very different.
Yeah.
It could have been a lot. And I think it says, Myles Garrett's even said, like, hey, I learned a lot from that situation.
Probably shouldn't have assaulted that guy with a deadly weapon.
Yeah. But
that was bad.
I mean, he's lucky that Mason Rudolph didn't like press criminal charges. Turns out there was evidence.
yeah, video.
It was
on camera.
a lot of different replay angles with that one.
Yeah. So no, to me, I think they leaked that they were pushing for the year because again, they were pushing him to settle.
I think so too. I agree with everything you said. They don't want to suspend him for the year because that's not good for their ratings.
Correct.
It's not good for TV. It's not good for the money. And I do think that it's probably going to be somewhere in that 6 to 8, and then they'll appeal down to 4 to 6, and we're ready to roll.
Yep. That's the way I look at it.
Let's play ball.
I know, like everybody who's not a Browns fan out there, or if they're a Baker fan, they're going to be screaming, "You guys are crazy! Big Ben got 3 games per accusation. Deshaun's going to be suspended until 2040." Guys, no, he's not. No, he's not. We'll see him playing this year.
Hockey fans, the pursuit for the Stanley Cup is on, and DraftKings Sportsbook, an official sports betting partner of the NHL, has an unbelievable offer for the most exciting playoffs in sports. New customers can bet $5 on any team to win and get $100 in free bets, no matter what, win or lose. Looking to turn a small bet into a big payday during playoffs? With DraftKings same-game parlays, you can do just that. Create your own parlay by combining multiple bets like which team will win, how many goals will be scored, and more. It's your shot at an even bigger payout. DraftKings is safe, secure, and reliable. Best of all, you can deposit and withdraw your cash whenever you want. So download the DraftKings Sportsbook app now, use promo code TPPN, bet $5 on any NHL team to win, and get $100 in free bets no matter what. That's code TPPN at DraftKings Sportsbook, an official sports betting partner of the NHL. Minimum age and eligibility restrictions apply. See show notes for details.